Olympic spirits. They are called Olympic spirits or spirits of Olympus, inhabiting the firmament of heaven and its stars, and their duty is to proclaim the fate and destiny of mortals and to govern certain other areas and subjects concerning our earthly affairs, as well as to teach and reveal what the stars assigned to each person portend and signify in accordance with the teachings of astronomy and astrology, in which the duties of these Olympic spirits are set forth in the most clear and elegant manner. MSS Rollinson D 1363. This description of the Olympic spirits from the Rollinson Manuscript D 1363, 17th century, provides an idea of how sublime they are by nature. These are not simple spirits, but stellar rulers who have legions of lower-order spirits under their command. Perhaps it would be most accurate to define them as planetary chiefs. They are first mentioned in the Arbatel of Magic, 16th century, and are described there specifically in connection with the regions and provinces over which they preside. The spirits of Olympus, whom God has appointed to govern the entire structure and building of this world, preside over 7 different provinces. Thus, of all spiritual entities, the Olympic spirits stand closest to the archangels. Like archangels, they possess a certain autonomy, as evidenced by the descriptions of their appearance. Throughout history, the Olympic spirits succeed each other as supreme ruler with a period of 490 years, and in this respect they can be compared to the angels of the planets, effectively archangels, written about by Johannes Trithemius in the treatise De Septem Secundis, 1508, who succeed each other with a period of 354 years and 4 months. Judging by their name, the Olympic spirits are of Greek origin. Therefore, they do not fit into the Hebrew hierarchy of spiritual entities based on Kabbalistic correspondences. It is also curious that, unlike archangels, who are created from the highest part of the air, Olympic spirits combine all 4 elements in balance and are therefore capable of exerting a more direct influence on the physical plane. This is an extremely important distinction, since all spiritual entities described in Hebrew sources, archangels, angels, demons, etc., consist of only one single element, usually air. These 7 royal princes, or spiritual chiefs, with all their hosts, reside in all 4 elements and move according to the uniform motion of the firmament, and the lower always obey and serve the higher. Olympic spirits are also mentioned in the Harley 6482 manuscript, a grimoire based on the developments of Dr. Thomas Rudd, 17th century. It is stated here that working with the Olympic spirits of the planets is preferable to working with the spiritual entities of the Kabbalistic hierarchy. We fully share this point of view, since the spirits of Olympus and their subordinates are in many respects much more accessible than archangels and angels. In order for Dr. Rudd's teaching on the 9 hierarchies of angels to become complete and more understandable, the following should be added. The glorious Metatron and Raziel can be called upon for great, significant, and important achievements, to prevent the destruction of kingdoms and people invested with great power. However, in the opinion of Dr. D and Dr. Rudd, as well as the ancient Megacy Amplicus, this is rarely done, as it is usually quite sufficient to call upon the Olympic powers and seek counsel from them. Apparently, the properties of the Olympic spirits are determined by the number 7, the number of classical planets. The number of provinces governed by each of them and the number of spirits subordinate to them is a multiple of 7, as is the periodicity of the change of these spirits as supreme ruler, 490 years. In our time, the post of supreme ruler is held by Ophiel, the Olympic spirit of Mercury, which seems quite natural for an era in which information technology plays such an important role. The Arbatel of Magic reports another important circumstance concerning the Olympic spirits, namely, they do not always come when called. If the magician's motives are not pure, the spirit may not appear. In addition, a spiritual entity does not always appear in visible form, and therefore grimoires so strongly emphasize that every magical operation should be concluded with a banishing, even if no visible presence is observed. In the Arbatel of Magic, aphorism 17, it is said that the spirits of Olympus come at the call of a true magician acting in accordance with the divine will. To ordinary magicians they usually send their servants, and to false magicians they do not come at all and send demons instead. Furthermore, it may happen that the Olympic spirit you are calling upon is busy with something else. In this case, he will also send one of his subordinates to you.